Hotline Miami is a cocaine-fueled ballet of brutal murder. Most games attempt to make us feel good about their violence. Everything is okay, you may be killing everyone that stands in your way, but they're the bad guys and you're the good guy. Hotline Miami does no such thing. It doesn't try to justify its violence, it just revels in it. Let's see why you should kill your way through this neon bloodbath. Hotline Miami was developed by Dennerton Games, a Swedish duo who up until Hotline Miami were only known through small game maker projects. The first thing you're going to notice about Hotline Miami is its radiant visuals, a grungy and grainy 1980s style. The dichotomy between neon colours and butchered human bodies make for a striking aesthetic style. It makes for an uncomfortable contradiction, similar to a murderous cartoon character. Oh, and the soundtrack is tasty. Not only is it a solid ode to the 1980s, it fits perfectly with the combat. The repetitive drone reinforces the rhythm of beating the living spit out of some people. You will find yourself bobbing your head while you smash skulls. The music is so effective because it is linked with Hotline Miami's rhythmic and primal combat. It elicits a sensation and a tingling in my toes unlike any other. For most of us, the violence of video games is dead. It's lost any weight or shock value a long time ago. Simply put, killing a dude in most games feels a bit like punching a paper bag. On the other hand, Hotline Miami made me feel again. Every kill rippled through my fucking balls. It makes you swim in every action, every slice of a knife, every kick to the head has weight and consequences. While the fragility of the player character and the accuracy of the enemies ramp up the tension. One hit and you're dead, but the quick respawn means you're straight back in it again. It's not just the act of killing that is so strong in Hotline Miami, it's the dance that leads up to the kill. There is a tempo to every encounter. You can sit back and plan before you start any assault, but when you kick it off, there is no respite. Improvisation and quick reactions are the name of the game. This is because every enemy reacts to their surroundings. If you or any of your enemies shoots a gun, every thug within earshot is going to come running. This results in scenarios where you lure enemies out of their more defensible positions, or you accidentally set it off and enemies are coming at you thick and fast and you have to improvise. These sorts of fast-paced, high-intensity scenarios make the moment-to-moment gameplay so exhilarating and so satisfying. This is why death rarely feels like a big deal. Every attempt is fun regardless of whether it was successful or not. I never felt like I died for any other reason than I fucked up, and when you die, you get back into the game so quickly there's just not enough time to brood about it. Hotline Miami is only about 4 hours long. The folks over at Dennerton Games have kept it fresh throughout. There's a consistent progression in the difficulty curve. The game increases the number of guys you have to tackle at a time, it increases how well equipped those guys are, and bolsters how defensible their positions are. There are some boss fights later in the game that expose the weaknesses of the combat system, but beyond this there are some really novel ways that they ramp up the difficulty. For example, later levels introduce glass walls. This means that you can't take one room out at a time without alerting the other room and having to go deal with them. In addition, Hotline Miami is a game that demands to be played again. There are high scores that incentivize returning to a level, there's the mask system that gives you a different bonus depending on what mask you're wearing, and finally there's the simple fact that every stage has the capacity to play out in so many ways that the gameplay experience is different every time you play it. This combination of replayability and satisfying progression means that Hotline Miami packs a lot of value into its 4-hour runtime. Hotline Miami's story manages to tie the whole package into a nice bow. The core of it revolves around a simple mystery. Why am I killing all these people? The phone rings in the main protagonist's apartment, tells him where to go, and he kills everyone there. Unravelling the true nature of who is on the other end of the phone and how much of this surreal experience is real lends the game a carrot to pull you through its blood-soaked hallways. It puts a spotlight on the brutality of the murder in the game. There are simple touches that make the whole experience feel more poignant. For instance, after finishing a level, the game will often force you to walk back through the level to the exit. This confronts the player with the pure carnage they have wrought. It almost mocks the player. You killed all these people and you don't even know why. The whole narrative is disorientating and unsettling, a perfect fit for the glowing barbarity in the rest of the game. Hotline Miami is a game that elevated itself beyond its peers. The fantastically dirty neon stylings, the repetitive 1980s soundtrack, the savagely rhythmic combat and the deeply unnerving narrative make for a game that you should play. If you haven't gone on this blood-soaked murder spree yet, you really should, and if you have, let me know what you thought in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for a new game recommendation every week. Well, that was a big one. This has been one of those videos that I've been meaning to make for a while. I really think Hotline Miami is a special game and you should give it a go. But next week, we're going back to a classic.